Hey, Miss Sodom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, I want to let you know this is being recorded, and if I could get your consent for being recorded for educational purposes.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. All right, so for this first test, I'm going to be showing you a few ink blots, and I just want you to tell me what you see. Different people see different things, and so there are no wrong or right answers. You just have to tell me what you see, and that's it. All right?
Okay.
So here's the first one. What might this be?
Um,
What might this be? And you
I
can take your
don't
time.
really. The bottom part looks like two boots. Um, it almost looks like the head of a praying mantis laying back on, like reclining in a chair, but the praying mantis is wearing boots
All right. What made you think that?
because the head is shaped like a praying mantis, and these look like two boots.
Is there anything else you see?
And the little things look
Where?
like a praying mantis.
All right. I think those are called No, not mandibles. I'm
No.
not sure what they are. Okay.
But if it's a praying mantis, he's wearing a coat.
All right.
A
Wonderful.
fluffy coat.
All right. And what about this one?
Oh, oh gosh. I mean, really, again, not anything particular. Maybe two seahorses facing one another. These could be little crab-like creatures out to the side, or um, coral. It reminds me of something in the ocean.
What made you think of that?
Remind me of the shape of seahorses, and these little things look like corals.
Do you see anything else with the colors or particular shapes?
That looks like it's completely like not part of this picture. It looks like a piece of a skeleton that's been just superimposed into this colorful picture. This gray thing
Okay.
doesn't look like it belongs.
All right. Great. Alrighty, and the last one. What might that be?
It reminds me in a way of a Halloween mask. It almost has like it's got eyes like pumpkin eyes and almost like ears or horns and almost a smile but not quite, and that in the center is the nose.
What all made you think of that?
The shapes of the eyes specifically remind me of pumpkin eyes, jack-o'-lantern eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and then these look like almost actually like sheep ears.
Okay. Is there anything else you see in
This
that?
would remind me of a jack-o'-lantern smile if it was full.
All right. What about the color? Anything in that?
The color of it makes me think of a bat.
All right. Very Halloween vibes.
I yeah, I guess I probably am going off that because I thought jack o' lantern when I first saw it.
Right. All right. So, for this next one, I'm going to be showing you a series of pictures. Each one is ambiguous in what's going on. I just want you to tell me a story of what you see. I want you to think about these things. What led up to that moment? What is happening right now in the moment? What are the people thinking and feeling? And how might the story end? All right. So, you can take as much time as you need, and when you're ready, tell me the story.
You didn't show it to the camera. This is a little boy who's getting ready to do a performance, and he's anxious about it, and he's been thinking about it, and he wants to do well, but he's been dreading doing this performance. And I think he'll probably do well. He looks like he is conscientious and concerned enough to have practiced.
All right. And so, how again would you say the story ends?
That he does well at his performance.
All right.
Like I said, I think he looks like he's concerned and conscientious enough to have practiced.
All right. Here's the next photo.
Gosh,
And you can take plenty of time if you need to come
This
up with a
reminds
story.
me of an ad. Makes me think of an advertisement. But it looks like perhaps a girl who is maybe more well-to-do. Her family owns a farm. This person, the man in the picture, works on the farm. And maybe she has an interest in the man, but there's a woman to the side who's pregnant. Maybe as his wife, maybe as another worker on the farm who's pregnant. What's led up to it? I think the girl secretly has a crush on the guy, but of course she cannot talk to him because she's well-to-do and he's a farm worker. And I think that she probably never does.
So how would you say they're probably feeling in this picture?
She's feeling sad because she knows she can't talk to the man. I don't think the man knows, but I think the woman knows and she's watching.
And how did you say the story might end?
I don't think she'll ever tell him how she feels.
All right. And by the way, if you see the watermarks, just ignore those. Don't take those into consideration in your story.
Shove it in there.
So here's the next photo.
Oh. Actually, at first I thought that was someone hanging over a toilet, and I was hearing make up a story about the night out she had. But it looks like she's leaned up against a bench. She's obviously very distraught about something, very sad. I don't know what's led up to it, but obviously something terrible's happened, or something that's made her sad or hurt her feelings, but she's leaned up against the bench. She's, I think, crying. I don't know how it would end. If it's something that she can fix, I guess she would fix it. But if it's something like loss, it's grief you have to work through.
So could you tell me more about what possibly might have led up to this moment? It doesn't have to be something specific, but what you think could have led up to that moment based off the picture.
To me, I think it's probably either someone's died or someone that she loves, like, whoever, her spouse or whatever, has left her. Or she's found out they're cheating.
And how do you think that story might end?
If it's someone that's died, she'll just have to go through the grief process. I mean, you would hope someone will recover from that. If it's her spouse that's cheating, I don't know. They could end up divorced. And that might be why she's so devastated, is that they're going to be divorced.
All right. Here's the next one.
Oh, this one makes me think of Nazis.
All right. So could you
Cruelty.
tell me more about? Okay.
It just looks like something cruel is happening, and that the person watching this doesn't care or is cold-hearted. It doesn't look like, I don't know, it just doesn't strike me as something being done out of kindness or concern for someone's well-being, especially with the look on the person's face looking outward. If they were concerned about what was happening, they'd be looking inward to watch what was happening.
All right. And what do you think led up to this moment?
I don't know. It's almost like someone who is having something done to them against their will. That almost looks like a gun, but I cannot tell for sure. So it almost looks like somebody having something done against their will. And unfortunately, I think the person may not survive that.
And so how do you think the people are feeling in this moment?
I don't know that they are feeling. I think the person looking outward looks almost sadistic.
All right. And how did you say the story would end?
I don't know that the person's going to survive what's happening.
All right. All righty. Last one.
Show the screen. I don't know whether to take literally that there are two pictures in this, or if this is someone imagining another person.
Okay.
It in some ways it makes me think of someone who this is like they're like either an inner person or what they see themselves as becoming as they get older, or it's an older person advising a younger person. I don't know if it's literally two people or one person in an inner self.
So what did you say would lead up to this moment?
If it's what to me it strikes it as is a one person with an inner self, then they're being retrospective and at a point in their life that, you know, they're thinking about they're getting older, what their future's going to be, what they've done with their life so far, how much time do you have left.
So how do you think they might be feeling?
Maybe sad, maybe melancholy, maybe a little bit like afraid they've wasted time.
And how do you think that story might end?
Maybe they'll take the thoughts from this and make the most of time left.
All right, wonderful. Well, that completes that portion. And people have different interpretations of these stories. It's just a good way to get how people think based on complex issues. So I appreciate you participating.
Sure.
I have one more final thing to do. It's going to be a form for you to fill out called the sentence completion test. I'll have you fill this out on your own, and then we can talk about the results in our next visit. All right?
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you.